Ndinoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingachatsi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa
My hitters don't die, the real hitters gon' shine and my people gon' line. Cause we're born to win, I ain't saying
how the hell do I not have a deal? I swear this thing is a real dog. I play it fan off, the cowards that they can't feel. The wife try to console me like it's coming, baby, chill. She don't understand. I'm the only one that's real. I remember the third grade. Them kids, they had waves. I had them BDBs. You know that Zimbabwean bread. So they do shades and your boy hit the stage, press play, and all the chicks was like, yeah. While boys was moving bricks, I was moving chips. Yeah. If she gave me calculus, gave her a mouthful of it. Heat rose to this thing, boy, I bet on myself.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday, and I want to welcome you to I almost want to say terrific Thursday. I mean, terrific isn't a word, but I'm so excited because we got another Black Star Power episode in the works today, y'all. I got Jac Ross, Darkchild recording artist, joining me today. I'm so excited to hear about his journey into the music industry, and he will be here July 1st for Soul on the Water right there with Friends of Waterfront and Africa Town on Pier 62. I'm excited to listen to his sultry voice in person. I'm telling you, he's phenomenal. So I'm glad he's joining me today. But of course, y'all, it is the top of the show. So it's a great time to tag and share the stream right here. That's right. Go ahead, tag and share this stream with folks who you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on The Day with Trae. Now, if you cannot watch our TV show, we definitely have you covered because you can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. Y'all will find me on Google, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Music, whichever platform is your favorite, you will find us there. Shout out to everyone who is ensuring that we are up on that podcast with crisp audio and that we are also doing the work here in studio. So shout out to everyone who's making that happen. Shout out to all of you out there who are sharing the stream, who are donating to us here. We appreciate all the work y'all are doing to push all the great work that's happening here. So thank you so much for that. But of course, you know, I want to really give some time to dive in with Jac Ross. Y'all stay tuned right after this short break. He and I are going to get right into it. You don't want to miss it. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Hi, I'm King of Jr. Just when you thought it was hot in Seattle, it just got hotter. The HBCU Swingman Baseball Classic will be held at T-Mobile Park. Here's an opportunity for these kids to showcase their talent playing baseball because they love the game of baseball. The All-Star Game before the All-Star Game. Not everybody can go to a Power 5 conference, but that shouldn't stop you from playing the game that you love. There's a lot of great players who played our game who went to historical black colleges. So why don't you come show your support, show your love, and stop by. This is powered by T-Mobile, MLB, MLBPA, Youth Development Foundation. The HBCU Swingman Classic at T-Mobile Park. It's gonna be hot.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
The new COVID-19 updated booster provides the best protection available right now. So don't wait. Stay safe this summer and get your updated booster today. To find a free vaccine provider near you, go to kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now is Mr. Jac Ross. What's up, Jac?
How's it going, Trae? I'm doing well. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Looking like you're right out there in some amazing sunshine. And you're going to be joining us in some sunshine soon. But before we get into the event, I always want to hear about the story that got you into music industry, into singing. Tell us more about your beginnings.
Absolutely. I'll make it kind of quick. I've been singing since I was 5 years old. And, once I got about 12, I'll never forget my father took me to a gospel concert. It was Lee Williams and the Spiritual QCs. And that night I remember saying to myself, I want to sing for the rest of my life. It really made an impact on me. And fast forward, till I'm about in my 20s here, probably about 21, 22. I'm working as a school teacher. And at that time, I'm just literally recording music out of my dining room in my house. I got my kids, everything, just trying to make it happen. And I have a buddy of mine named Mezzo, and I'll never forget, it was my birthday. And he called me one night, and he tells me this amazing story. So he's in Bloomingdale's working down in Orlando, Florida. And all of a sudden, he sees this individual walks in, and he says, I know a legend when I see one. And it was Rodney Jerkins. And man, he spared no time. He was like, dude, can I get your email? I want to sing you some music. And it might have been just like the holiday spirit, but Rodney gave him his email, and he sent him some music. And amongst the music he sent was some of my music. And the first song that he sent him was mine. And he told Rodney, he said, this guy has a legendary voice. And Rodney looked at him and said, don't ever say that, because that no longer exists in today's time. So Rodney goes on, and he gets in his car, and he pulls out of the driveway, and he plays my song. It was a song that I wrote with Mezzo called Gotta Be Mine. And as soon as he presses play on the first line, he tells me he reverses the car and goes back into the mall again. And he said, I gotta find this guy. I need to know him right away. And they spent so much time together that my buddy actually ended up getting fired from his job vouching for me. Long story short, he called me that night on my birthday, and he said, I got a gift for you. I said, what you got? He said, I got you Rodney Jerkins. And I said, man, stop playing with me. Because, as an artist, you start out, you just want to, like, I don't know, you experience so many ups and downs. So for him to say that, I was flabbergasted. And it was actually real. So I drove up to Orlando, got to sing for Rodney. First song I sung for him was A Change Is Gonna Come. And shortly after that, maybe a couple days, maybe a week after that, I remember working behind the school desk, and he sent me my first recording contract for Dark Child Records. And we've been rocking together ever since then. So I just gave you like the 3 to 4 minute version of a very long movie-like situation, but I'm very grateful for it, and I'm very appreciative of Dark Child and the impact that he's made on my life as well.
Wow, Jac, that is phenomenal, because honestly, you think, someone like Rodney is, oh man, I'm probably getting this all the time everywhere I go. I'm just trying to shop. But the fact that he was, had the foresight to be like, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that this young man gets my email, and that it connects you to this amazing opportunity. Is amazing, but it also is really telling of the power of your voice. I mean, you said since you were 5, you were inspired to say, I want to sing. This is what I want to do. But what kind of steps did you take to really hone in on your craft and really hone in on your sound?
I can remember, I think about this often when people comment on my voice. I just remember even in junior high school and high school as well, the amount of hours I would put into going to my dad's church. I'm a son of a pastor. I would go to his church and I would just sing for hours. And I would literally tune my voice, so to speak, against the guitar. And I would match the tones to the tone of a guitar to try to achieve perfect pitch. Some people say that doesn't exist, but I won't argue that. But I just can remember spending hour upon hour. Even I was a really good basketball player. My friends would come by in the summer, and it got to a point they no longer stopped by my house to come see if I wanted to play. They would just go to the church first. And it got to the point I can remember little girls lined up at the church door listening to me sing, knocking on the door, begging to come in. So I just put a lot of time, just countless amount of hours, just trying to perfect my vocal through the years. And I think it's worth mentioning my father and my mother and all my siblings. I have 5 siblings. Everyone sings. So it is something that's kind of just like naturally God-given. But I definitely did my fair share of just, trying to perfect the craft to the best of my ability. And that's kind of how you get the Jac Ross sound a little bit.
Wow, lots of time and energy. That's so good to hear, but it's also a great message for those out there who are working to hone in on their craft. Especially nowadays, I think with the digitization of our world, we have access to so many amazing folks all over the world. And, we're seeing the rise of, even something like Afro beats, the rise of it here is because of this connection, right? Where we're able to see it in so many different ways. Folks are looking up YouTube videos or TikTok videos and all these things and finding these amazing singers. So it's great to hear that it's always going to take that level of dedication in order for you to really get to the next level. I think that's important for, folks who are looking to utilize their voice in a major way when it comes to being a recording artist or getting with a label. All of that is really about honing in on the craft. But you've done some phenomenal covers, and I just want to ask you about some of this because I saw one of your videos, man, views in the millions and just so many amazing comments. How has it been for you to really get your brand out there and now get the rest of the world to understand who Jac Ross is?
Man, you know what? It's been a very fun process. And to be honest with you, when I first started doing covers, I got to point out that my father raised me to do everything musically original. And he would go on and say, and if you have to sing somebody else's song, you got to do it your own way. So I was very reluctant to covers because I just believe in originality. But I started doing the covers my own way, and people were receiving them. Some people were even commenting like, I didn't even know this was this person's songs. I thought this was your song. And that makes me feel good. It definitely makes me feel as though I've taken the time enough to take someone else's song and put my own spin to it and make it my own. And for people to appreciate it, I really, appreciate that fact. But just getting the attention of more and more supporters, that's what I like to call everybody, supporters across the world, has been so helpful for my career to be able to display my brand and who Jac Ross really is. Sometimes you have to, and I want to pump this message out to anybody who's upcoming. Sometimes you have to take a different route in order to get to where you want to go. And that's worked for me. I've been able to sing other people's songs my own way in order to sing my own songs and get people to appreciate my music. And that's just been a beautiful journey. And it's been an unexpected journey as well. It's not anything that you planned on or it just happened so out of the blue and random. It's no different than someone else's story where you post a video and you wake up one day and your video has millions of views. Well, that's literally what began to happen for me. I would do the work, post the videos, and then wake up and just be like, how did this happen? So, it's so good to see people receptive to the sound. And it also is very humbling because it allows me to see that everybody doesn't have the opportunity necessarily to be embraced by multitudes of people. So I definitely just take it very serious and don't take it lightly that someone else would receive the music and the sound that you release. I'm very appreciative of it.
Yeah, I think that it carries through because character is always something that I think a lot of supporters gravitate toward, right? It's not just about the talent, especially nowadays where, you have a lot of different insights into people's lives, right? Whether you're following them on social media, whatever, you're seeing them in different realms. We have more of a open door kind of to the life that Jac Ross is living, and it oftentimes can really lead supporters to be like, you know what, man, it's not just about how great he sounds. It's also about this amazing character he has, people connecting with you out in community, how you treat supporters and how you show up in space. Like all of those kind of things are also important too. But, I always think this is an important factor is that when you think about, Jac Ross, the man, the brand, the recording artist, that takes a team, right? And it takes a dedicated team to be able to, think about, all right, you're going from the church and people are lining up to hearing you there to now people lining up to come and see a show and people lining up to, be connected to you because of this exposure you have now. Tell us more about that team that's really rocking with you.
Well, you know what? I want to start by saying we have a great team leader in Dark Child, you know, and we kind of put our heads together and say, this person is right for this person is right for that. But also, while having a team, the one thing about working together is you have to lose together sometimes. And we have lost together. And ultimately, we have learned from our losses so that now we can continue to work towards winning more and more and more. But I tell you, I see my team is as a family. And for all those out there who are going through this industry or really in the industry in the world, you have to understand, like when you have a team that feels like family, not to give up on your team. And what I mean by that is just like my siblings and stuff, I'm almost the youngest of six. And we've argued some days, we've butted heads some days, we've clashed some days. But at the end of the day, we're still family, and we always come together for the greater cause. And that's the same thing with my music team, man. Some days we don't all see eye to eye. And it's so important that everyone is not a yes man. Everybody's not, well, whatever Jax wants to do, that's what we're going to do. No, we need somebody to get in there and mix it up and make it a little bit ugly sometimes so that we can be brutally honest with each other so that we can be ultimately successful. I can't really say enough about my team because they always have my best interest in mind. They see from different angles and they see from perspectives that I may not see. But again, it always yields toward the greater good. And what that greater good for me is what success is. And success for me is being able to continue to reach the masses of people, and continue to check off all the little personal goals that I've had. Literally, almost every goal that I've made coming into the industry, I could literally say I've probably put a green check mark beside it. And it's been less about me and more about my team. When you have a great team, you can lead. They make it easy for me to show up and sing, that's my job, to show up and sing and to provide them with my thoughts. And then they just make my thoughts turn into a reality. So it's less about me and more about them. These are people that you'll probably never see. They'll probably never be on camera, but without them, you wouldn't be interviewing me right now.
Right. That's so important. And I mean, I love how you started off there talking about Rodney. I mean, because, many folks who have been following the music industry and really R&B sound, Dark Child has a name that is widely known. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to ask you about that, connecting with this, ready-made brand, honestly, this understanding that people have in terms of how well he produces music and brings a melodic sound over dynamic beats. That's also something that you get to be a part of in terms of Dark Child growing their family. Tell us more about being, signed to Dark Child Records.
Absolutely. You know, the first thing that I want to say about Dark Child is they truly are family. That's the first thing I want to say. You know, they treat me with the ultimate respect at all times. Just always real, never sugarcoating anything. We can have those real conversations, and it's just like brother to brother at all times. You know, and I don't want to speak too much on his family, but just know that they've all embraced me as a part of their family, and I'm forever grateful for that. And working with Dark Child, it's been so much fun. It's been very unique too, because we hear music so much of the same way. You know, his ideas are often my ideas, and my ideas are often his ideas. And I've been able to learn that I can be trusted. And what I mean by that is, by musically, when I started working with Dark Child, it wasn't long after before he would just leave me in the booth and let me run the show and just kind of get back and be like, oh man, you already got it done. That's because I've learned so much from him through the years. And even now, I've become a better writer. I hear music differently. But again, when it comes down to the Dark Child brand and music, we all can say so much. Everybody can say so much. But what I want to say, what Jac Ross wants to say, is I want to speak on Dark Child, the man, you know, the person. He's genuinely just a great brother. And it's not something that everybody will get access to or maybe not see. But he stays behind the scenes and he makes Jac Ross about Jac Ross. And he just treats me with the utmost respect. So we know he's talented. We know he's one of the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest to ever do it. But, however, I want to speak more to who he is as a man. He's a great individual and a great brother, someone who I love and will cherish for the rest of my life, because he has come into my life and changed my life. And I think that's something that needs to be said more and more. He's just such a warm individual, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. I love asking things like that because, it is through the experience of, recording artists and others on the team that can really give those of us in the audience who are watching from afar a greater understanding of that relationship, right? Because I think we've seen all of these biopics on, artists, and, there's tension behind the scenes, but yet they got to get out on stage and put that face on and make it happen. I just really love hearing that genuine approach that he's taken to build that relationship with you over the years and support you in a way that you really feel that love, and that care and respect, as you talked about that. So I think that's so important for us to identify with as supporters, as folks who are, listening to the music and coming out to see the shows. So it's really great to hear that. When I think about you coming to Seattle, I want to hear about, your excitement to be here. Just huge shout out to Africa Town. And Friends of Waterfront. You'll be at one of our phenomenal peers, Pier 62. I know I'm excited to see you, but tell us about you coming out here. One thing I do want to note is you're coming to something that is becoming to be, what a lot of folks in community look forward to with this Summer of Soul series. And it's such an amazing opportunity for us to get connected to artists like yourself. And so I just want to hear about that, because you're going to be coming to something where community is now ready to embrace who you are and embrace your sound. Tell us how it's settling with you.
Listen, I am very, very excited to be coming out to Seattle. I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons why I'm so excited. As an artist, it is not often that you get an opportunity to go into a place at any location and actually sing soul music. And that's what people are actually there to hear. They want to hear soul music in a day and time where I believe so much of music has become digitized, and so much of music is, just, it's not the same anymore. So when you have a group of people that are coming to embrace soul music and under one roof at the same time, I don't think you have any choice but to have a good time, because those who love soul music, in my opinion, they love good music. And I know for me, I'm gonna make sure I do my best to give it my all. But I promise you, I've never been so excited to come to a venue, just because, again, this is what I love more than anything. You know, I can sing so many genres of music, but there is nothing like soul music. So I'm ready to come to Seattle, and hopefully I just rock the stage and everybody just loves what they hear. But I'm super excited, and if to all you listeners, I want to say you don't want to miss this show. I'll tell you that much. You're not going to want to miss this.
Yeah, absolutely. Not going to want to miss it at all. Jac Ross, you're going to be with some amazing performers as well, who have just been ripping up stages left and right throughout the Pacific Northwest and beyond. So I am so excited, and I really appreciate you for making time in your busy schedule to join me on the Day with Trae today. This was a huge honor to get connected to you, and I cannot wait to see you on that stage at Soul on the Water, July 1st. Thank you so much for being with me.
No, thank you for having me. Can't wait to see you guys. We're going to have a fun time.
Absolutely. Oh, y'all, you heard it right there from Jac Ross. What a phenomenal individual, and also a phenomenal recording artist. Y'all definitely don't want to miss Soul on the Water this Saturday. Pier 62, shout out to Friends of Waterfront, Africa Town, all of the sponsors who made this event possible for us to be able to experience not just Jac Ross, but a litany of amazing other performers hitting that stage. Y'all are not going to want to miss it at all. It's going to be a family-friendly, fun time. We encourage y'all to come and join us right there at Pier 62 this Saturday. Be there or be square. I'll wrap it all up right after this short break. Y'all stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, and the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
The new COVID-19 updated booster provides the best protection available right now. So don't wait. Stay safe this summer and get your updated booster today. To find a free vaccine provider near you, go to kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. What a great interview with Jac Ross. Huge shout out to Jac Ross and his team for making that happen. And it's also a really inspiring story, because when you hear about artists who start at such a young age, who have that spark of inspiration to do it and find their way to it, it's so beautiful to hear, because it's not as if he was like on stages at 5, but he knew he wanted to do it. So he honed in on his craft. He dedicated himself with his time and really understanding how to hone in on his sound, so that when the opportunity came in his 20s, he was ready to take it on full force. So y'all know I was inspired. I want you to be inspired, because when we hear these phenomenal stories of folks who have millions of supporters, it's beautiful to actually understand some of the dedication and drive that it took to get there. But it also is a huge reminder to all of us that when we dedicate ourselves to what it is we want to do, who we want to be, how we want to be perceived in this world, we can all do that with that same level of dedication that Jac talked about today. So I encourage you to be inspired, because I want all of us to be able to live the life that we dream of. And that means we do have to dedicate ourselves to it in a real, authentic way, giving it all we got. So be encouraged, y'all. You can find your way by being dedicated. And also, you can find your way to see yourself as a part of the solution when you use some of that dedication to connect to your community in a profound way. For me, until tomorrow, y'all, at 11 a.m., peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.